Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to Plays. Welcome back to Civ6 multiplayer. We're down to 3 players in this, what started out as a 6-player lobby. Japan is invading our Russian Empire. Hopefully we can survive long enough to start building up some of these wonderful Niter units. Filthy has explained to me that he does not have Niter in his empire. Well, you know what you can do is you can colonize another city, right? Let's go find some Niter. Just settle right on top of that shit and just get it in. You don't even have to build a road. Isn't that nice?
Niter. The closest Niter to me is in Tiber, which is your city, or Ephesus, which is Greek city. That's the closest on the map to me. So I can't do that. There's no way that's actually a realistic thing. There's just no Niter for me on this side of the map.
I'm pressing R this time. Doesn't do anything. It says waiting. There we go. Alright, I have to get used to using R, I guess. What I don't like is I don't like having to drag the map with my mouse. That's kind of a pain in the butt. What did he pillage there? Commercial districts? Okay. Do you get gold for pillaging the commercial district? He doesn't know how to hold his push to talk button down. Just never hear what the fuck he's saying. I think he said... Nizhny Novgorod, you can build what? Muskets if we get an encampment. I think walls are going to be a little better here, just in case he sends some units around the sides. Alright, Xi'an, more knights, please. Oh, I can almost kill it. Fuck. Almost. It's probably better to not kill it, though, because I don't want my musket to be outside the city walls. I'm going to need more crossbows. I've lost a few of those suckers already. I've lost some horsemen and some crossbows. Alright, what does he have here? What is this? It's just a regular old mine? He gets gold out of that? He gets gold out of a mine? Not even copper? Huh, wonder why he's getting gold out of a mine. Is that from some wonder? No, it's because he built Petra. Oh, I wonder if I can pillage Petra. That'd be fun. That'd be real fun. Okay. All right, let me shoot. Come on. I'm pressing R. I don't see a target. Pressing R. Come on. Are you kidding me? How do you get these attacks in before I can even click on my units? I don't understand. Can you share your secrets on how to actually do that? Seems useful.
When are you issuing commands?
Okay, I'll tell you how my turn started there, and this is how it's been starting the last several turns. I click on my unit, and I'm pressing R. I'm pressing R, I'm pressing R. I'm waiting for the target thing to show up so I can actually take a shot. And
don't wait for it. Wait for that. Issue commands. This is just like Civ 5. You issue unit commands basically on turn transition, and you issue multiple commands on turn transition. Don't wait for the commands to actualize before you give the next command.
Really?
Don't wait for it to happen. Yeah.
And it actually takes the commands?
Some of them.
Oh, damn it. I didn't have a space for him to retreat. That sucks.
Yeah, we're just not able to push across these rivers without roads up here. This is just a useless flank. We're getting crushed by range units behind rivers that I can't get to with knights. This is pretty stalemated in here. I can't get into here. I'm not very thrilled about this at all.
Do you have any niter yet? Or is it going to take you a few turns?
I don't think you were listening.
No, I heard what you said. I know, but it's like
the nearest niter is.
You gotta go get niter.
I can't go there. Look at the in between. Let's say I built a settler right now. The terrain between Nagoya and Tiber. You see Tiber? It's your city. TVER, right? See the niter like 4 tiles southwest of it, 4 tiles southwest of it. That's my closest source. So that is a. Let's say 1 turn to build it, maybe 2. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that'd be 7.
Why can't
8,
I build muskets
9.
anymore?
It'd be 10 turns to get there. Before that's just not even a thing. That's like maybe I could plan for that a million years ahead. I didn't even know bombards took niter. So, anyways,
there we go. Oh, did that cancel my musketman builds? I think it did. That's brutal. That canceled my musketman builds. Oh, man. I kind of feel like these balanced starts should really give each starting region where someone has their capital enough of the strategic resources to actually, be useful. It seems a little weird to not have that in your starting area.
Yeah, what you're asking for is a setting called strategic balance, which is a setting that we play all of our games on in Civ 5, like all of them, because it's just not reasonable to play without it. You can't defend. It's in the base game, chariot archers are maybe nearly as strong as horsemen are in this game right now in terms of their relative strength compared to other units.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you don't have horses in your capital, you can't build chariot, or you don't have horses in your immediate area, you can't build chariot archers. And you can't fight a war with someone in vanilla Civ 5 in the early game without having horses. You just can't do it. You just are at a huge disadvantage. So, yep, I agree 100%. I'm almost ready to concede here. I'm probably going to do 1 or 2 more turns, but I think I'm getting pretty close.
Well, I'm ready to start a new one. This is a lot of fun, though. What's important for me is learning how to do this large-scale combat. Against the AI, it's like, even against deity AI, I need like 5 units to take out deity AI. It's that easy. you know. But against a player like this, you actually need to have, you know, like you said, like, you know, archers behind a river or in the forest or something, and then, you know, some small melee units up front to soak some damage. And it's just this kind of thing that I don't have to consider too much, and so I need to learn this. But yeah, I'm ready to start a new one.
I think pillage. Yeah, I think this turn will be you'll mop up everything this turn. I think pillaging is also a lot weaker because not all yields give you heals, and pillaging costs so many more movement. It's like, what's the point of me? I have a knight behind your land. I should be running around like crushing all your improvements and getting all your shit, but it's not going to happen because he's just going to die to one of your knights killing him in one shot because he's not going to have enough health. And anytime he goes near a city, he's going to get simply pointless. Oops. Finally get that 5 times promoted one down.
You're getting so many attacks in, it's crazy. I tried that little end turn thing, and it looks like it accepted one of my commands out of like 6.
Not at the end. It's just like don't wait for the animation to finish before you start making other attack commands. That makes more sense. All right, I'm ready to concede. I can't push in here. My wave of units is gone. I don't have backup to push into that. A lot of my units were faith purchased this game, which means I got to
purchased. Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that was the strategy of this game. I went Japan. I just didn't have enough room to do it. What I needed was about 4 or 5 more cities, or 3 or 4 more cities, and I would have been really happy with this. Because, you know, Japan gets half off holy site districts.
Yeah.
So you build them very quickly. And then I went, I prioritized getting shrines and temples up early. And then I got a religious city-state that gives me extra faith for every single district I have based on the tiers. You know how the tiers work for the city-states,
yeah.
right? So I'm max tier on that. And then I tech for the it's a little bit late in the tech tree, but if you go down to the civics tree, you see Reformed Church. It's in Renaissance. It's the very bottom part of the tree. It's one of the government types. It gives you theocracy.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, that policy lets you faith purchase units, or that government allows you to purchase units with faith.
Right.
So then at that point, you know, it's just I go from like basically 0 military score to every turn I just purchase a 1 to 2 units out of each of my cities. I was
surprised how quickly you got your military score up. That was like, because I checked on you, had like 500, and then all of a sudden you had 1,000. It was fast.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it was. It's just I'm just spamming unit purchase. So, but honestly, like the promoted units are scary. You killed too many players too soon. Like maybe I should have done more military early. I'll have to see. I really didn't like my starting lance. Just again, I don't know if that's I had nowhere to go in terms of cities. Like I need fresh water. You've scouted? I see your scout over there. So you've scouted all in like the northwest and stuff.
Yeah,
like there is one extra amenity up there. There's dyes. There's almost no way. I don't think there's any way to settle that and be fresh water. So there's like no way to keep happy or keep housing going while settling that.
Were you having trouble with happiness this game?
Housing, yeah. Amenities were bad. I didn't have a lot. And then housing was real bad too. I was struggling a lot with a lot of things this game, actually.
I think the one thing that I'm not too concerned with is housing, because the more people you get, the lower your happiness goes. So it just puts more of a strain on your luxes, and you just nationwide amenities just can't handle it. Like if you're gonna
tall doesn't seem very easy to do. It just takes because it's 1 amenity per 2 pop, which is just so much.
And the main problem there is if you're not out conquering people, then that means you're not getting new amenities. So growing your cities just doesn't work. And it kind of forces you to go wide, really wide.
Yeah, like wide, not only wide in terms of the number of cities, but just not going tall in your cities because it's so amenity expensive to do that. Like I don't see it anywhere in here yet, but Civ 5 you had an option which was to avoid growth in cities.
Right.
And I mean you can manually do that here to balance it. I'm almost considering doing that in some of these cities in the future, just like prioritizing like 6 or 7 really nice tiles in that city and then just ignoring growth past that. I mean there's no multipliers, right? There's no national college. So there's no particular reason for centralized like population that I can think of in this game that I've encountered yet. I think there's one building. I think Oxford University, or maybe it was Great Library. One of them has a 20% science multiplier. But even that
Oxford,
isn't. Yeah, but that's not even that big a deal. Like, and that's so rare you're going to do that. And I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, it doesn't seem worthwhile to go. Like my capital's at 10, and the only reason it's at that pop is because of trade routes. It has like 7 trade routes from that one city. So if it didn't have that, it would probably be just sitting at 8. You know, just because that's a more comfortable place to be for amenities.
Yeah. Yeah. How so are you at -4 from war weariness?
Oh, let me check. Yeah, -4.
Yeah. And like that's pretty much everywhere then, right? Yeah, I have actually -5 amenities. This is higher than I got last time. I thought I capped out at 4 last time. I thought that was the highest, but I'm actually -5 from war weariness. And I was at over 7,000 war weariness points, whatever the hell that means.
Where do you see that number?
It's not. It's one of the players in our game.
Okay, well, I'm pretty much done with this game here. Where do you see that number, though? The war weariness?
Kind of. Oh, sorry. I muted myself and was talking, and then unmuted myself in the other direction. I didn't want to do that. So, had you found war weariness from the actual one in your cities? Like, you can see how much you've gotten from that.
No, where do you see the number?
What I'm asking though, is it the amenity part you're looking to see, or the number like the 7,000 I quoted?
The 7,000.
Yeah, that's one of the players in the game we were playing last night was running. There's like a logger file, and he's one of the modding guys. That's what he does. That's what he does when players join.
Gotcha,
he mods a lot of the stuff.
Gotcha.
So it's a number that's not in the interface of the game. But basically, to give you a comparison for that number, when I was at peace after that war, I was regaining 200 a turn.
Right, out of like 7,000. It's just nuts. That doesn't make any sense though. If you're at peace, that should go down quickly. Especially, what if someone's just trolling you and they're just constantly settling cities like across the world that you can never go get because they're so far away? You know, if that's the case, you're always going to be just amassing more and more war weariness, and it never goes down.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Well, I thought maybe what they might have done from a design perspective was they capped the amount of war weariness you can get, and I actually thought last game I might have actually hit that cap at -4. Like, I'm like, okay, so basically then you just go, well, if I'm going to war nonstop, I'm going to have to make up for a -4 amenity deficit in each of my cities. Okay, so be it. But I was just looking, and probably because in pure number of losses I was taking there, I was at -5 war weariness there.
Yeah,
which means that 4 isn't capped, which probably means it isn't capped at all.
That was something the America player was saying was, as I was killing his units, his war weariness just kept going up, and he got to the point where I killed one of his units, and that caused his amenities to go low enough that he had rebels spawn in his capital from me killing his units. And then he was typing in chat. While he was typing in chat, I just took him out. But it was like, I mean, what do you do against that? I mean, how do you actually fight wars, especially if people are trolling you and just running away? What are you supposed to do?
I don't know. I don't know yet. I mean, once we get some actual data on what contributes how much and what reduces it, there may be ways to do that. For example, perhaps if you're not losing military units, you're not getting shit for war weariness. I don't know.
Could be. It could be like there's a set amount you get like every turn just because you're at war. And then on top of that, I do believe, I was reading the Civilopedia on this, I do believe you get extra for having combat in your borders. Like that causes war weariness. So the fact that you were invading me meant that I was getting a lot of war weariness from that. And I didn't get any war weariness with the war with America, like at all. Yeah, it was like nothing.
Did you take any losses? You took the city loss, I guess.
I took the city loss. I lost maybe an archer or two, almost nothing.
One of my viewers in chat just said he saw Pyrian streaming today, and he had -8 in one city from war weariness. So that shit is not capped then.
Wow. What's that got to be, like 10,000 or more? That's nuts.
Yeah, it's probably more than that. If four was 7,000, I have no idea. I mean, think how long that's going to take. I mean, that's 5 turns per 1,000, so that's 35 turns for 7. 35
that
turns
doesn't make sense. Are you just supposed to sit on your hands for 35 turns while it goes away?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, this is. I mean, of course, and this is something that never really came up in the pre-release stuff, because it was all versus Immortal Prince AI. It takes you about 1 minute to win a war.
Yeah, and even if it takes a long time, I never found any situation where I had bad war weariness against the AI, like ever.
Yeah. All right, let's get another lobby up and see how it goes from there. I enjoyed that game. I would like to try this strategy again at some point, but probably not right in a row. Probably do something a little bit different for the next one. Do you want me to host?
The religion thing?
Yeah, because it worked actually really well. If I had a couple more cities, so I was a little bit more competitive in terms and a couple of the other things, particularly amenities, then I think I could have made that surprise attack work. If I had Niter, for example, could have got bombarded so I could actually do damage to that city, that might have been nice too. But I mean, it turned out like it's a little scary too. Like I walk into that city and it's your capital has that hill in front of it.
Yeah.
Which means I can't shoot it from the land. I'm like, oh fuck, that's unfortunate.
It's such a good spot.
It was very good.
I was hoping that forward settle towards your lands would have been a good space to defend as well, and it might have been with that river in the way. But the problem was my units were nowhere near there. I was in America at the time.
Yeah, it kind of was it's very hostile to do that in multiplayer. Like, I mean, like we talked about it, but you're kind of like, yeah, I'm taking the city. And I'm like, oh, well, now I have a problem that I will have to deal with at some point in this game. There's
I
no
know.
way around it.
I know it was going to cause a problem, but the reason why I went with it is because you had previously suggested that we, not go to war for a while. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I was talking to my chat about this. The chat was like, "You're just trying to get us to justify you warring Shen." I'm like, "Well, how long what does that mean?"
No,
like,
that was gonna happen at some point.
Yeah, I know, but like from a perspective of like, here I am verbally saying, "Let's not go for a war for a while." How long does that work? What's the binding contract? What's the binding length of time on that?
Until
you know what I mean? Like,
until it's time for war. I mean,
yeah,
duh.
until it's time for war.
I don't see a problem with it.
All right.
All right, let's get a new
again. Or you want to try something different? Should we try like a coastal game or continents game? Might be different.
That's interesting. The only issue I have, especially with the islands map sucks. Just straight up sucks. It's terrible. I've tried Fractal. It was okay, but it was like long, snaky continent, just like Civ6.
Yeah.
I'm about to try a new one. Continents. If we're on continents, I'll tell you this right now. If we are on separate continents, we will conquer our own continents, and that will be it. And
that might be fun.
Yeah.
And maybe we actually get some like info era war shit or something, right? Like maybe we'll get to use a nuke or a missile cruiser, like as opposed to just horsemen.
Have you seen the nukes yet? Have you played with nukes yet? They're amazing.
I nuked one. It didn't actually. What was so amazing about it? It didn't seem that good to me when I used it.
Oh, well, the regular nuke damages 7 tiles. It damages the tile you drop it on and all 6 tiles around it. It flattens everything. So all the wonders, all the improvements, the city defenses, everything gets destroyed. Units are destroyed, everything. But the thermo nuke, the bigger one, damages 18 tiles. It damages the 7 in the middle and then all 11 tiles around it. So it's a huge, huge nuke. So you can, especially if you have cities that are somewhat close by, so you can get those nice bonuses for production and entertainment bonuses. Well, that means you're going to be really susceptible to a nuke. But I mean, how often do you even go info era in Civ 6? I don't know. 5.
Oh, in Civ 5, it used to be fairly common. It's not as common at the moment with the current balance of the mod. The game tends to end basically modern atomic era style stuff a lot right now. What do you want for? Okay, so what are we doing for the map type?
I think we should try a new one. What else? What are the ones that were not in the preview build?
Fractal wasn't in there. Inland sea wasn't in there. One large ocean in the center of the map is inland sea. Island plates, was that in there?
That was in there. It's garbage.
Okay, that's the one you didn't like. I didn't like continents. I had really bad luck with that. Like occasionally, like I would spawn like 1 or 2 of the ones I played on continents. I just spawned totally isolated from everybody else on my own little like
you get your own island.
Tiny. Yeah, but that's.
I had a continents one where England. I know they're coastal bias. I get it. She spawned on an island with 6 tiles. That was her continent. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, and exactly. And then someone else might spawn on a continent all by themselves, and it's like 10 times that. This is why we don't play continent maps in NQ very often. It's because pretty much ever. It's because it spawns isolation. If you spawn isolation, it's just imbalance. You can't have an option to deal with the runaway. Right. I put it on inland sea, so it should actually be a landmass with a island sea in the middle. I'm gonna open this up to our viewers again. I'm gonna walk away, nuke some food. It'll probably take a 2 or 3 minute break here, basically.
Yeah,
and then as the lobby loads and then lobby fills, and we can get a game then.
Sounds good. See you in a minute then.
So, yeah, join the lobby before you go though, just so we're both in it, and then yeah.